Ahoy there, I'm Tiny Pirate. Welcome to 5 top tips for Planet Coaster. Now, Planet Coaster is in alpha, but already it's a lot of fun, and there's some really cool things you can do with it, fun theme parks you can make. And with these 5 tips, you'll find some interesting new techniques to help you build the best parks you can. Now, I'm pretty sure you won't have heard of all of these tips, especially the last one, so stick around, let me know what you think at the end of the video. Now, first tip is, you can bury lights. Look, you can kind of see them here already. Already buried some here to light up the pirate ship, make it look a little bit more exciting. And if I find my decorations tab, I'll be able to add a few more. So I want to add, say, another blue light here. Give it a bit more punch at the side. I can simply, once I've got it facing the right way, I can simply hold down shift, lower it, get it in about the right spot, and click, it is placed. To cover up the beautiful light that I've now snuck away, if you don't like the fact that it's kind of glowing out of the ground, a bush or a rock or something like that will do the trick. And the end effect is you do get a lovely lit up park without all these very obvious stage lights everywhere. I've used that a little over here, and the end result is a pretty gaudy looking castle, which is probably about right for a theme park. Bit of scenery work and that would just look beautiful. My second tip is that anything you're playing with, be it a prop or a wall, can be glued to the ground by double tapping the shift key. So say you've got a rock and you've half placed it and you're not really happy with where it is, double tap and it's on the ground. If you're messing with a building, it's a bit too under the ground somehow, you've lined up something funny, double tap shift, it's on the ground again. So this is a really helpful way of getting the best possible construction and making everything look neat and tidy. So double tap shift places objects, props, walls back to ground level. Very helpful when building. My third tip is that once a roller coaster has been built, it's very easy to mess with the track. You can make the track do things it simply won't do normally. So first of all, turn off your train, edit track, find a bit you want to mess with, here's a bit, and drag it steep. Best part is even the wonderful chain track for dragging things up also gets pulled along too, in ways that I don't think it will normally happily build. And with this I can make the most obscene looking and strange tracks, putting in really steep dives, things that normally the track building just will not let you do. And with that, I should be able to just turn the train back on and everything will work. Now this tip might only work for the alpha, while you can unlock the sort of the dev building of coasters, but I think it's pretty crazy. It's yeah, you can make some pretty weird and obscene roller coasters, as you can see here. Just look at this thing. Just getting up to the top of the roller coaster is a ride in and of itself. Who wouldn't find that mildly terrifying? And then down into that massive dive. Yeah, that's a terrifying ride. Now my fourth tip is for placing coasters. As you know, you unlock coasters by typing under construction into any of the search boxes, whereupon the coaster tab will appear. From there, it's easy to place the first station, and by default the game will try and line it up with the grid. But if you've adjusted it, adding a building to your coaster can be quite difficult. If you want to add a pretty castle like I've done, then things just won't naturally line up and it all gets just a bit difficult. But there's a way you can force the game to let you snap to the grid of the coaster, and that is to hit the debug menu once you've selected the coaster and hit buildings. From there, you will now find your grid is available and your castle can be built. As you see here, I'm now snapped to the coaster, which allows me to align everything nicely with this grid. Really helpful for making sure that everything looks nice and neat. Use this technique to ensure you have beautiful coasters and beautiful coaster stations. My final tip is a doozy, I think. I think it's the best tip I've ever tipped. And that is, if you've made a mistake, like you're messing around with your ride, and you've deleted it, just hit Ctrl Z and the ride is back. Yes, Control Z will undo any mistake you make in the game. If you've moved a tree and want it back where it was, Control Z. Control Z is a real lifesaver. Might need to turn the ride back on again. Everyone turns around to go back. But Control Z will save you hours of fiddling around if you've just accidentally broken that roller coaster you just spent 30, 40, 50 minutes tweaking. Anyway, I've been Tiny Pirate. This has been 5 top tips for the Planet Coaster Alpha. Hope you've enjoyed them. If you have, check out my channel. I've got lots of fun videos, tips, let's plays, all that kind of stuff. Until next time, good night.